So I came across this posting and thought it was kind of interesting concept, and wondered if anybody else had heard anything about this and wanted to add any information on it or have done some research on it. But it sounds like something very interesting if you had somebody pass away in your family and you buried them on your property, that you wouldn't owe any taxes on your property. One of the things I was talking to my buddy just recently about is how people tend to move so much. You know, people don't live in their house more than 5 years and they're already selling it and flipping it or moving on to another home. And, you know, you don't have generations living in the same house like we used to. And that's kind of created some problems in our country because people don't tend to get to know their neighbors or even the health concerns in their neighborhoods from where they're moving into. Because there's some stuff that you may not know, happen in your neighborhood, and you're relying on those disclosures. Yeah. I've owned many different places, and I can tell you that a lot of stuff is not being disclosed, and you don't find out stuff until you've lived there for a long time, if all it ever. For instance, the place where I grew up, and it had underground gas where they did fracking. A lot of people in the neighborhood, just about every house in the neighborhood got cancer. Also, all the piping in the neighborhood when they put the subdivision in was surplus from the government. It was transite piping, so it could have been putting toxics in it, but the whole neighborhood was all on well. One other thing too is the high power lines. There was high power lines there. Those could also be causing health problems in that neighborhood. So you just never know. So take a listen to what this lady has to say and let me know what you think.
Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this, and I don't care if anybody feels some type of way about it, but I'm going to put that out there. Did you know that if you bury a loved one in your backyard, that your house now is zoned as a cemetery, and you no longer owe property taxes, as well as you're no longer part of any HOA or any government anything. Your house is a write-off. It's tax-free on any upgrades to your house, and they can never take your house after that. Generational wealth. It doesn't matter if you default on your mortgage or anything like that. They can never take your house from you, ever. They can't take it from your kids. They can never take it. So think about this. Back in the day when you watch things like Wyatt Earp and the movies, they go out back and they bury, their loved ones in their backyard. When did cemeteries become a thing, right? Probably around the first war, when we needed money and we instilled war taxes, property taxes, all the bullshit, right? So cemeteries became a thing. Why? Oh, because they needed property tax. And they wanted you to pay a lot for funerals. When people used to just do cardboard and, bury people 6 feet under and put them close to their house. But now they have you pay for a plot of land, pay for a tombstone, pay for a casket, put you in debt basically for a funeral to put your loved one on a property that's not yours. Because if you put them in your backyard, then you no longer owe property taxes and your house is no longer owned by the government. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm just putting it out there. Just letting you know. I also just wanted to side note that you don't need any government or anybody's permission to do this. You just need a funeral director and a death certificate. And then your house is zoned as a cemetery. You don't need anyone's permission to do this.
So for my farm life people, just so you have something that'll make you feel at home, I thought I'd throw this picture up there. Anyway, all kidding aside, but please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this.